Hello everyone, and welcome to RadioCSIRT English Edition, your daily appointment with cybersecurity news. I'm Mark Frederick Gomez. I hope you're doing well. Today is Sunday, December 14th, 2025, episode 50, Live from Valence from France. On today's threat landscape, Apple and Google crisis, Twin 0 days hit the ecosystem. Apple patches 2 active exploits in WebKit, while CISA flags the matching Chromium vulnerability as an urgent threat. Ubuntu kernel alert. CERT-FR issues a critical warning. Multiple vulnerabilities are impacting every supported version of the OS. Reboots are mandatory. The 16 terabyte leak. A massive open database exposes 4.3 billion professional records. Your LinkedIn data is now fuel for AI-driven spear phishing. AI deregulation. The White House strikes back. President Trump signs an executive order effectively blocking states from regulating artificial intelligence. Critical CISA update effective December 12, 2025. The agency has added CVE 2025-14174 to the known exploited vulnerabilities KEV catalog. The target is Google Chromium engine with a vulnerability type, out-of-bounds memory access. Active exploitation in the wild is confirmed. This flaw impacts the entire Chromium ecosystem, including Chrome, Edge, and Brave, creating a ubiquitous attack surface. Threat actors are leveraging this memory corruption vulnerability to bypass security controls. The probable outcome is remote code execution, RCE, triggered by rendering malicious web payloads. Attack vector relies on client-side interaction. Federal compliance under BOD 22-01 is now mandatory. Security operations centers must prioritize this over standard patch cycles. Network-level mitigation is ineffective against encrypted web traffic exploits. Endpoint vulnerability management is the critical control point. Unpatched browsers remain open gateways for initial access. The recommendation about this vulnerability is clear. Enforce immediate updates for all Chromium-based browsers and audit assets for non-compliant versions. CERT-FR issued a major advisory on December 12, 2025 regarding the Ubuntu Linux kernel. The warning covers a massive array of vulnerabilities affecting the entire Ubuntu ecosystem. Affected systems include long-term support versions 18.04 through 24.04 and recent releases up to 25.10. The advisory aggregates over 20 CVEs, spanning from legacy 2022 flaws to critical 2025 discoveries like CVE 2025-40232. Technical analysis identifies risks of remote denial of service and security policy bypasses. Threat actors can leverage these kernel-level defects to crash servers or circumvent access controls. This poses a severe threat to multi-tenant environments and containerized infrastructure where kernel integrity is paramount. Remediation requires more than a package update. The new kernel image must be loaded to mitigate the threat. Live patching may cover some issues, but a full reboot is the only comprehensive fix. The recommendation about this advisory are execute system updates on all Ubuntu assets immediately and enforce a reboot cycle to ensure the patched kernel is active. Emergency Apple security update released. 2 0-day vulnerabilities are currently being exploited in the wild. The identifiers are CVE 2025-43529 and CVE 2025-14174. The first is a WebKit Use-After-Free flaw. The second is a memory corruption issue. Crucial intelligence, CVE 2025-14174 matches the recent Google Chrome 0-day, indicating a shared vulnerability in the Angle graphics engine. Threat actors achieve remote code execution, RCE, by processing malicious web content. Apple describes the attacks as extremely sophisticated. Discovery by Google's threat analysis group points to advanced persistent threats, APTS, or commercial spyware vendors. The attack surface spawns iPhone 11, iPads, and macOS Tahoe systems. Exploitation bypasses browser sandboxes. Patches are available in iOS 26.2, macOS 26.2, and extended support versions like iOS 18.7.3. Trigger emergency patching protocols for all Apple fleets immediately. cross-reference logs for indications of WebKit-based compromise. Massive data exposure reported on December 14, 2025. Researchers discovered an unsecured 16-terabyte MongoDB instance leaking 4.3 billion professional records. This represents a Tier 1 exposure event. The dataset contains 9 collections, notably profiles and unique profiles, holding deep PII emails, phone numbers, employment history, and education metrics. Data appears aggregated from LinkedIn scraping and enrichment sources like Apollo.io. The database remained open until November 25th. Prior access logs are unavailable. This leak effectively weaponizes corporate directories for AI-driven social engineering. Threat actors can now automate high-context spear phishing and business email compromise, BEC, campaigns with precision. Corporate reconnaissance is now trivialized for attackers targeting specific roles within Fortune 500 entities. The structured nature of the data facilitates rapid correlation with password dumps for credential stuffing. Strategic shift in AI governance initiated by executive order. President Trump has signed a directive establishing a federal-only framework for AI, effectively nullifying state-level regulations. Enforcement mechanisms include withholding federal broadband funding and deploying a DOJ litigation task force to challenge state laws. The primary targets are state mandates regarding algorithmic discrimination and safety audits, such as Colorado's AI legislation. For CISOs and GRC leads, this destabilizes the current compliance landscape. While this ostensibly removes the patchwork of 50 state laws, it dismantles external safety guardrails. The directive prioritizes innovation speed over robust security testing. Organizations relying solely on legal mandates for AI safety validation will face a governance vacuum. The stated goal is a minimally burdensome standard. This increases the onus on internal security teams to define and enforce acceptable risk thresholds for AI deployment without legislative backing. Maintain rigorous internal AI safety protocols. Do not conflate regulatory rollback with a reduction in actual operational or reputational risk. And that's it. This episode ends. I hope it will provide you with clear and useful information. Until then, we don't think, we patch. If you're a new listener, feel free to subscribe to the RadioCSIRT podcast. We are available in both English and French on Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, YouTube, Deezer, and Spotify. All open source intelligence links used in this episode are available on RadioCSIRT.com. See you tomorrow for a new episode. Take care. Goodbye from France.